Flooding rains and damaging landslides across the Eastern Caribbean. We had our share of inclement weather today, Ian. That's why you have the top story.
Well, that's right, indeed. In fact, in many areas across the Eastern Caribbean got their flooding rains from Barbados to St. Lucia to Martinique. Now, forecasters had warned of today's downpours and gusty thundershowers. And with the images that we're likely to show, basically you did see all of this green and orange colors signifying that trough system pushing across the island from as early as 11 p.m. yesterday and then continuing into the early hours. As you can see, the bulk of it was falling across that northeastern sector through Matelot into Turco and also into Tobago as well. Out to Tobago in Crown Point, which is further south, they got 32 millimeters of rainfall, and out at Pialco only 2.9 millimeters. But the satellite estimates show that it could be as high as 50 millimeters in some places. Now, meanwhile, further towards the north, out towards Barbados and out towards St. Lucia, they received significant amounts of rainfall, like 150 millimeters. So that's not impossible that we could have seen that amount of rainfall in those remote communities. Meanwhile, further on across the next couple of slides, you will see that we have been seeing quite a few of those clouds pushing through. Now, obviously, the Met Service had warned of this inclement weather with gusty winds, etc., set to come through. Now, many areas, especially out towards the northeastern areas, would have been under the influence of this trough system. This trough system is pushing towards the east, so we should be seeing some improvement possibly as we get towards late on Thursday, but definitely into Friday. We should be seeing some brightness coming through. Now, this has been a rather wet November, it's particularly in Tobago. Tobago got just about 244 millimeters so far. And this is well above the average of 207 millimeters that they normally get. And what has happened is that the Hillsborough Dam has reportedly been overflowing across in Tobago. That's the word coming out from TEMA and the head there of Alan Stewart. Meanwhile, Matelot woes continue with thousands of villagers in Matelot remaining isolated in their community tonight after severe rainfall overnight caused a series of landslips and damaged a bridge, leaving the village inaccessible by car. Our news team of cameraman Shaka Tellisford and reporter Peter Christopher attempted to get to the northeast village, but could only reach as far as Grand Riviere as roads remained impassable up to Wednesday afternoon. Here's their story.
After over a dozen hours of rainfall, members of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation are currently trying to clean up dozens of land slippages which are currently cutting off the Matelot village from the rest of the country. And the devastation was immense. Landslips could be spotted as far back as Montevideo, and our crew had no choice but to go by foot to follow work crews as they attempted to clear the roadway to provide assistance to those stranded. Backhoes from both the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation and the Defence Force were brought in to clear the land slippages. But where those heavy-duty machines could not assist, handheld equipment such as a chainsaw and a cutlass had to be sought. CNews was unable to get to the village to see the damage firsthand, but the story of its impact came to us. Farmer LEROY Peters exited the village on foot after hearing that his farmlands had been decimated.
Well, we home and water come in, so whole morning we mopping out, clearing the road, putting out furniture. Then a man come and tell me, boy, your whole estate gone. You can imagine when I need it, and I watch. I have a daughter in Grenada. I work in this wide zoo for a living. This is all.
Mr. Peters said the farm was all he had to provide for his family, including his daughter who currently studies at St. George's University in Grenada.
If you have to maintain a child in Grenada, you have to work hard. Yeah, I selling every week in the market. Look, my wife in the market now. I dropped my wife down yesterday.
Everything gone, right?
And everything gone.
What's the value?
That's the last stop that you have.
What's the value? Everything. I had to call my wife and tell she just lost everything.
Another Matelot resident was not optimistic that the road would be cleared before nightfall.
Well, it's bad to me. So what I see in it, I will take a while to recover. It mightn't done today. Neither we mightn't get current today either.
Power lines were indeed problematic for cleanup crews, as on several occasions crews had to be wary of falling poles and dangling lines. TNTech cut power to the area as well as parts of Toco as their trucks transported replacement poles to the area. Peter Christopher, CNews.
The Sangre Grande Regional Corporation has admitted that the numerous instances of land slippages has delayed their ability to assist with the damage in Grand Riviere. Disaster Management Coordinator for the SGRC, Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, Terence Maxim, explained that several affected areas in the village and they'll still need assistance.
Is the result of an overnight and maybe 2 days of rainfall. What is happening here, this is disastrous. So the community, as the vehicles cannot pass, there are persons here from the village waiting to go in. Matelot is cut off. So what is happening now, we are trying to clear the roadway so that we can get access in and bring relief to the residents and persons who are inside to be able to come out.
Mr. Maxime explained that while the ODPM had scouted the area aerially, assistance to the village was still stymied by the lack of an on-ground access.
I don't know if we could really count. I'm sure we have more than 12 landslips on this road coming down here. We also had reports of persons whose homes were blown out, roofs were blown off in Matelot, and that's what we are trying to bring some relief to them, but we can't get to them right now until the road is cleared properly. There's also a bridge that has been impacted, and we need to get to that bridge also to see what the Ministry of Works would be able to do.
Well, now we have Disaster Manager Dr. Stephen RAMROOP on the line. Good day, Mr. RAMROOP.
Good day. Hi.
Now, forecasters had warned of today's downpours and gusty thunder showers. Were there any challenges today?
Yes, challenges insofar as accessibility because of the impact of the Matelot, Matura, Blanchisseuse, Grand Riviere area in the northeast of the country. Many communities are now without electricity, and they are actually locked off from the rest of the country because of the debris on the road. At present, what we have is the soldiers are actually trying to clear the Grand Riviere landslide, so that by the morning we will have some limited access to get into that area. And then from there, there's some other areas that will have to be cleared after that, with some heavy equipment and whatnot, which will be going down there tomorrow. TNTech will sort of resume operations in the morning to get some electricity, and right now we understand that quite a number of persons are being hosted at one of the guest houses there, so that you can have some welfare and some comfort and safety tonight until tomorrow, when we can re-establish some degree of normalcy in their lives by getting their homes cleaned and washed and covered for them to get back in there tomorrow.
Well, that seems to be good news, but the hurricane season ends today, Mr. RAMROOP, but wet season continues, and ahead of the 2017 dry season, what advice do you have for persons?
Well, it is, although the rainy season officially ends, it is not that the rain will stop. In the crop time we will get rain as well. And this is one of the features of climate change. We are in a period of drought, actually, which is ironic. A lot of people are speaking nonsense. But basically what you have is heavy rains during the rainy season in bursts, which are extremely intense with a lot of moisture. But this is the rainy season. But in an overall look at the average or mean rainfall over a period of time, we are experiencing a drought. So we expect that over the dry season to come, we will probably have a dry season. But again, we wait on the scientists at the Met Office to give us some more information on that.
Thank you very much, Dr. RAMROOP.
Yeah.
And now, Samantha, you will carry us through the rest of the newscast.
Yeah.